Welcome everybody, welcome to the Tomb of Illumination. And this video here is about understanding the heavenly secrets of our realm. Mainly what the Egyptians have left us. What the ancient Egyptians have left us is the whole puzzle to the meaning to life. It's all esoteric, it's hidden knowledge that may be known to a few, and possibly these few who do know stole it from people of the past, and maybe even killed off the bloodline that actually were connected with this divine event. You could say the illuminated people. So today we could have illuminated people on the earth, but you might find those in Freemasonry at the very top. You don't reveal any of the secrets. I'm not a Freemason, but I understand all this stuff, and this is what I do in my videos. I reveal it all. Okay. So I've just recently reopened a Patreon page for people who are interested in supporting me, and you'll get videos like this on the Patreon page, where I'll leave them in there and won't give them to the public. So you're privileged to see these videos, okay? But there's some videos that are going to be worth a lot more than just a monthly subscription on Patreon. So I've got to find a way to sell that information, unfortunately, because I don't have an income, so I have to try and get an income to support myself, okay? 62 is not easy to make an income, okay? So this is what I'm going to do. So thank you for you guys who have signed up and come to see this sort of stuff. You can share it. I don't mind you sharing my information if you don't mind, letting people know that where it came from, so they can maybe come onto my site, help support me. More the merrier. So let's get into it, eh? Let's just breaking down some words here. Elohim, El, God. O, I, him. Border of a piece of cloth, or to bridle. Okay, bear that in mind. You come down to here. Bridled or bordered. He's bordered this passage here. What's this passage? This is the gap. This is the celestial gap between the two rotating skies above. At night, if you use star trail photography, you get your southern hemisphere rotation and you get your northern hemisphere rotation. And up there is a gap. And that gap is the most holy of holies regarding the secrets, heavenly secrets. So I'll go into all this. You may have seen some earlier videos of mine where I've shown some other stuff, but I'm expanding on that. We'll go back here. We've got horizon, Hor, who conceives or shows a hill. And rise on, horizon. Horus will rise on his horizon. Horus of the two horizons, from Antares to Orion or Sirius. You come over here, man's arc of horizon, the particular part of the season. You'll have Antares at one side, western horizon. You'll have Sirius or Orion turning up on the eastern horizon. Antares is also another name for anti-Mars, and Mars over this side. Or we have Scorpio, and the battle between Scorpio and Orion doing battle. It's all about this holy season when Sirius turns up on the eastern horizon. And then you have the other half, don't you? So, the other half of the season. Okay? So there's your hill, there's your arc of horizon. It's all about man's arc of horizon. Everything is perceived within his arc of horizon. Earth is flat, but every man has this arc of horizon where he sees all his celestial bodies moving over, rising up and over his horizon. Nothing goes below. That's a Globy's word, below. It only goes down on your horizon, out of perspective. Man cannot see forever. You know, Israelite is to be, Ra, sun, the sun. El is God, light, light. Put it all together, what do you have? To be a son of light, the illuminated one. We have the Son of Man, who's illuminated, and we have the Son of Earth, which has been illuminated. The Son of Earth is a star that's been illuminated. The right frequency has come out of the black hole and illuminated the star on its horizon. Well, a celestial alignment illuminates the man via the moon. The moon moves water. The brain's got brain fluid, and it's connected to your spinal fluid. It gets basically electrified, you could say, and it illuminates his pineal gland. So here's Earth looking down on it. We have the centre, northern hemisphere. We have the tropical gap, the iris, and we have the southern hemisphere, the whites of your eye. Why is this so small in here? Well, that's if you could see Earth down as a whole from up above. We can never do that. But from another perspective, if you could see all the zones of the Earth relative to that position as the observer, relative to each latitude, it would be a meridian. From there to there is a meridian. It's an arc, which is just like this, man's arc of horizon. This is the arc over Earth from centre north out to south, a meridian. And it's divided equally with the tropical gap. But on a whole like this, that's how you draw it, because everything expands out from the centre. It's a toroidal field, you see. A toroidal field is expressed from its centre, from the hyperboloid centre expresses out. So everything that moves south expands in the field. Human, every living thing not affixed to the earth is expanding as it moves to the southern hemisphere. Because he's expanding with the field, he's relative to the field. So if you can imagine arcs of longitude, he's relative to that, so he's expanded with it. So he hasn't changed in respect to those fields, those lines. So in here he could be a little man, a troll, or he could be a giant out here, but no one is to know because you've expanded with the field. Expansion and contraction. So this is the thing with the northern hemisphere and the southern hemisphere. You're basically expanding outward, but the field coming back is contraction. Okay, expansion and contraction. So, this divine period, when is it? Well, we all know the sun's analemma. That crossing is depicted in all the religious stories. The crossing being hung on the cross. There's the neck. Okay? Died on the cross. He didn't physically die. He died, his old way of life died as he became illuminated. If he is the lucky one, he became illuminated. He becomes an Israelite. One with God. Elohim, look at this. God eye, border of cloth. Okay. Now, for your information, the divine period was had to do with the full solar eclipse on 21st of August 2017, which happened to be 17 days to this point here, and then 17 days from this point to the equinox. So it's in the centre of these two events. This is the 6th of September, the beginning of spring. Ancient Egyptians talk all about that, beginning of spring. So at that point there is pretty much right there at the Tropic of Cancer, the start of the tropical gap here. Okay? Tropic of Cancer. Now you draw another picture, a side-on view of what it looks like. You've got something like an eyeball, because basically it's the eye of Ra, eye of Horus, eye of Ra, one of the two. There you have the, well, you could depict that as the celestial tropical gap, or you could say it's the whites of the eye, and in that gap, in this gap here, is the tropical gap, which it is basically, yeah. And then you've got the northern hemisphere up here, and in the centre you've got the black hole of creation, a place we cannot get to, place of inaccessibility, that's hidden by a mirrored effect. You go to the centre North Arctic, you don't see it, it's hidden in the mirror effect. And that's, you could connect that to the movie Bruce Lee, and what's the movie called? Enter the Dragon, when Bruce Lee is fighting in the mirrored room, fighting the evil Mr. Hans. That's pretty odd, isn't it? Because it's all mirrored, and he's in the mirrors, and the movie's called Enter the Dragon, and the dragon is the Milky Way, and the Milky Way is connected to the centre Arctic. It's all connected, but you know, it's a long story. So this divine moment is hidden in here, between the two hemispheres, the northern and the southern hemisphere. So we go down to the Egyptian story of Isis. Earth, the eye of Ra. Osiris, in the tomb with the lid shut, as he goes down into Amente, the underworld. This is the tomb, and it's got the lid on it, and the lid shut. So this gap, basically saying this gap here, because you're looking at the northern hemisphere and the southern hemisphere, it's a secret place. It opens and closes. Now he's shut. He's put in the tomb, and it's closed. The divine season between Sirius and Antares. He's come over here, now it's shut. He goes down into Amente now. No, it's not a globe, it just goes down in the season. In the season, look. So, or up that way. So he's crossing here. So he's leaving one season, going into the other. So leaving one season and going into the other is the two thieves on the cross next to Jesus, isn't it? They're on the cross too. But they're the two seasons, because you've got the down, you're moving down into one season, or you're going up into the other season. But either way, if you're going into spring, you're leaving winter, coming into the sun, the light coming into the light. Or, you know, this is down and out, up and in, which is the June solstice. The sun, this is what the sun does in the ecliptic plane. Down and out, up and in. So you've got the two thieves, one representing either side of the seasonal change, okay? Because Jesus is the one in the middle. He's right here in the middle. He died on the cross. Right in the middle. So Osiris, he's been put in the casket, the tomb, and the tomb is associated with the Milky Way. And it's all a spiritual event, a divine celestial event, you see, it's a celestial alignment. where the sun resides in the tomb. He's always in the Milky Way. That's the black hole is the core through the Milky Way, and right on the edge of that, I haven't drawn the vortex here, but he's right on the horizon, right on the side of it. And we're all told in science that there's, next to that glowy part in the Milky Way, is the black hole called Sagittarius A. Okay, so really that glowy part next to Sagittarius A, right there on Sagittarius A, is the back of the sun. Because the Milky Way is like this, vertical and back at creation, and the sun's tucked into it like an egg in a nest or an iron socket, and the Milky Way turns. That's your 24-hour day in the flat earth system. It turns around the earth, and it shines out across the black hole. And the black hole is basically the amplifier of the frequencies held in the sun, because the sound comes out of the amplifier, the trumpet, say, the core, the bugle, the vortex, and the notes in there have illuminated the sun, because they're the perfect resonant frequency that came out of the hole, illuminated the star. It was basically his tune. Yeah, that's how you raise a snake in Turkey or India. Play the right notes, raises a snake. Well, the right tune came out of here due to a celestial alignment, which enlightened the star. So you've got to imagine the star represents a man on earth, because we all have a star up there. So if this is illuminated, there's a man down on earth who's illuminated also. So he's been illuminated with the right frequency due to a perfect celestial alignment and his conscious state. But at the same time, the most divine are preordained. They've got something in their system right from birth. And that's to do with the meteorite showers. They all come down into the pregnant woman, they are the fair maidens, into the eggs of the female fetus. And they're waiting to be born. And this divine entity, the one who's illuminated, that's been passed down from above from a past pharaoh. The bloodline gets passed down. So it could take thousands of years for this man to become illuminated and become another pharaoh or a king. But it comes from a bloodline. So he's there, illuminated. This is what this whole thing's all about. So between the two hemispheres is the Egyptian false door into the underworld. We go up here. So cloth. Now all the holy stories are regarding cloth, the net, garment, fine linen or veil. It's to do with the white, and that's referring to the magnetic field. And the white garments, you've got to read some mythological stories regarding the June solstice, how a young woman prance around at night in their white garments. It's all connected to this. It's a long story. And you go to bridesmaid. Where do bridesmaids come from? Bridesmaids. Because this whole spiritual event is man reuniting with his spiritual half, which is his Lilith. When he was born into the physical world, he was separated from his other half. Because singularity is male and female, hermaphrodite. In the physical world we are separated. A man will go forth and search out his physical partner, but in the spiritual sense of our existence, man has to find his spiritual partner to be reunited. It's the meaning to life. That's part of enlightenment. When you've gained or found that, you become one. You become one with God. It's your godly entity. So this is the bridesmaid, and why they wear white. It's all connected with this time of this event. White. They have a veil over their face. They cover their faces because this place is a secret place. It's hidden to man. So she wears a veil. It's hiding, hidden, hiding the face. Fell to the ground covering his face is mentioned a lot in the Bible. Okay, hiding the face, which is basically the mirrored because it's hidden, and the mirror effect, the atmospheric lensing they can call it if you want. And the hidden face is basically God's hidden place. That's all I've got written there. So understanding this, the sun's analemma, we have two analemmas, one in the northern hemisphere and one in the southern hemisphere, so that's 100% proof you do not live on a ball or a globe earth, because they only talk about the one sun's analemma, don't they, and tell you the ball tilts to give you that shape. Well, it doesn't seem to work if you got one opposite the other one at the same time. They're always there. So this whole event is about the alignment of these two coming together at your hour. And this point here is at your zenith. At your zenith, and some of you might have seen arcs around the world, monuments, that they have a certain thing sitting on here on their arc, shaped like that, on their structures. Well, this arc, this is representing this point here, this alignment. There's lots of depictions all over the world. There's millions and millions of signs everywhere, but no one's ever picked up on or understood what it all means. Well, we're all starting to understand now, because we've entered into the golden era of Aquarius, where everything will be revealed, anything hidden will be revealed to the world. And the world's starting to wake up now. And the Freakmasons, billionaires running the world who do have some secret knowledge, are panicking. So this is one reason why they came out with the vaccination plan, which you could correlate that with the Herod, what Herod did to try and, the wise one that came about, and he wanted to knock off all the 2-year-old children to stop this man coming and revealing, showing the world what's really going on. But that story there, if you let me dwell on that one, killing off the 2-year-old boys is about how the child is born into our physical world knowing, still singular consciously, but by the time he's 2 he's separated. So if you could have a good conversation with a 1 to 2 year old, he could probably discuss his last life, his previous life, and his other name or his partner or something, but up until 2. After that he forgets, and he moves on into in this physical world. So that was the killing of the boys younger than 2. That's the story behind that. They lose, that spiritual thing is killed off. And this is why they say we are born into darkness. In the physical world we are consciously born into darkness. So there's people out there who think they're intelligent, going through life, massive egos, because this world's egotistical, yet he doesn't know that he is actually brain dead. When it comes to this, when you finally wake up, then you realise that the human race is actually brain dead consciously. They are not awake. They see nothing. And there'll come a time when you will see everything and it all makes sense, and you think, how could I have been so silly? So there you go. So this is a taste of what is coming on my Patreon page. there's some very, very divine information coming, and unfortunately, like I said earlier, you're going to have to pay for it. But I'll still be putting videos up to the public. They won't be so revealing though. But for you guys who are paying, you're going to get the dessert. Okay. So thanks for watching. I hope you found that interesting. So, well, just encourage people to come to my site if you don't mind, and put the likes up. Always put the likes up on the YouTube, and get people to subscribe. Cheers. Thanks, guys. Sorry, other thing is, you're on Patreon page. If you want to ask questions, go for it. I'll be more inclined to answer yours before the public on the other sites. Okay, cheers.